Hi, my lovelies. Woo here. Another episode of Somatic Navigation. Kind of just learning on how to tune into your body and kind of just feel yourself out a little bit. Figure out who you really are and be that on purpose. It's a Dolly Parton quote that I love, and I wanted to share that with you today because today I just want to talk a little bit about valuing yourself and putting investing in yourself a little bit as well. And by doing stuff like this, where you're really tuning into your body, you're making it an investment into yourself. And I think that that's really important because that helps build your self-esteem and it helps you shine your light for everybody else to see. And I think that that is beautiful. So one thing I kind of want to talk a little bit about is valuing yourself. Like, you are valuable and you can contribute and you are important. And that is something that you should always remember. And one of the ways that is a way to kind of tap into this is to kind of look at yourself in the mirror sometimes and tell yourself that you are valuable and that you matter, and that you can contribute, and that you like yourself and you accept yourself 100% completely. And I think that that sometimes is a really hard concept for most people to get to, where you can accept yourself exactly the way you are and understand that you can make changes to improve yourself, but not get stuck on like, oh, I hate my nose and it's too big and I wish it was smaller and I want to get plastic surgery, and kind of get stuck and wrapped up in like these things that you don't really need, because you're perfect just the way you are. And so getting to a place where you can accept yourself and accept your past just the way it was is a really hard thing to do. Especially because we've all been through trauma and we've all been through struggle. And so if we're getting to a place where we can accept, like, yeah, some stuff happened to me when I was little, or, some stuff happened to me in my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, like things happen, life happens, and getting to a place where you can accept exactly what happened, and it happened just the way it happened, and it changed you and it shaped you. Everything you do, everything you put inside your body, everything you think, everything that you allow somebody else's opinion to project onto you changes exactly who you are. So if you can kind of take a pause and remember that you are valuable and you are important, and in that you can accept yourself in a way that feels 100% authentic to you, and allow yourself, regardless of what other people think, like, it's not about them, it's about you, and how you feel about yourself and how you want to promote yourself. And like, for instance, I really like wearing stuff like this, and some people might think that's weird. I like to wear crystals as well, and some people might think that's weird, and that's okay. They're allowed to think whatever they want as long as I feel good about myself and I feel like this is something that makes me happy and it makes me feel good. And I don't care, like, I don't need, stuff, like just random stuff just to buy it or to compete with somebody else. I just find things that I like, and I just go with that, and I work hard to get there. I remember being 22 and I got my first real job, and I had like my first real apartment on my own. I'd lived on my own before in college, but this was like, I had just moved states, and I had a job that was really good. And I was like, I'm gonna buy furniture for my apartment. And my mom thought it was the craziest thing ever. Like, don't go into debt to get furniture. Like, and I remember going into Ashley Furniture and being like, just kind of looking around, and I saw like this one furniture arrangement that I was like, that's it, that's what I want, and that's what I want to get. And I don't care that it's not the most up to date or modern or kind of however people look at the furniture that I bought. But I bought this furniture because I saw the value in it. And like, it might not be the best quality, but it's still really great quality. I've had this furniture, I'm 35 now, and I have had it since I was 22. And yeah, there's some nicks and some scratches, and I can just put some, sand it down a little bit, put some stain on it, and it's perfect. And it's got a little bit of character maybe now, but it's still what I like, and it's still something that I tend to, maybe in my next house, or if, I'm assuming that I'll probably get another house, but who knows, I might not ever move, maybe I'll always be in this house. And but the point is that, like, I saw the value and like investing in that furniture because I knew that I was going to have it for a really long time. And if you can approach yourself in the same way, you're going to have yourself for a really long time. And if you invest in yourself, it's going to help your self-esteem, and everybody else is going to be able to see that too. And it's going to make your life easier and better, and you're going to feel great about yourself. So when you're thinking about investing in yourself, you want to think about, what are you consuming? What are you putting in your body? What are you eating? What are you thinking about? What are you watching? All of this stuff shapes you. Your job shapes you. Your friends shape you. Your family shapes you. But it's how you deal with that really, your reaction is what shapes you. It's not so much about them, it's about what you do. And I think that that's really important. And I think that you should always remember that you are valuable, and you should accept yourself exactly the way you are, completely. And kind of back to a little bit what we were talking about earlier this week, and your body regenerates every 7 years. So like, every cell in your body gets replenished. It gets kind of like remade. But one thing that you need to understand is that the stuff that you're consuming is affecting that cell. So as your body is developing these new cells, and before it says like, oh, this cell is going to be a skin cell, you are putting things in your body. So it's the food, it's the nutrition, it's the emotions that you hang on to, and all of the stuff that you watch, it's all of your environment, and how that is going to affect that one cell. So when you build that new cell, it's already going to be, if you have a negative feeling and things like that, it might be already damaged a little bit before it actually gets to the place where it's supposed to be a brand new cell. And so when you're thinking about everything that you're consuming, keep in mind that your body is continually growing. It's continually changing and developing. Every day, I'm not the same person I was yesterday. And remember that you're not the same person you were 7 years ago. Like, you have completely new cells like every 7 years. And every day you have an opportunity to really build new cells, and to build a healthier life, and to build things like build yourself. And I think that's really important for you to understand, because if you don't understand that, you might get caught in this loop of like continually consuming these things because it doesn't matter. It does matter. And I think that that's what you need to understand, is that you have value, and you should invest in yourself. And again, everything you do is an investment in yourself. And so kind of on that note, again, back to self-esteem and the movement that we're doing and opening things up. I kind of want to do a little bit, again, working on, this front line here that is working on your stomach channel for your meridian system. And so a few days ago I did a press up to kind of show you that you're opening up through here, and but today again kind of want to just do like a lunge to kind of open up all these muscles right through here. So you've got like your quad muscle, your hip flexors, your psoas specifically right through there, and your abdominal muscles, and then everything that's inside of that. So you've got all of your organ systems that are right in here that that also have all this fascia. And again, talking about the fascia again, it gets really sticky and it gets kind of locked together. So when it gets locked together like this, it needs to kind of unlock and unravel and unwind so that it can stretch and expand. And when we tear it again and you look underneath a microscope, when it looks like cotton candy, so it's got all these strings and it stays together. So when we look at fascia, and again, it covers our entire bodies from our head to our toe, it covers every organ, it covers every bone, it covers all the muscles, including every individual muscle cell. And it's the biggest organ in your body, and because it covers everything, and it's the connective tissue throughout everything, and it all speaks to each other. So if you're trying to, again, open up this, open up your stomach and open up your self-esteem and feel better, and get so you're not so knotted up and, you know, feeling like, oh, I could just throw up right now because it just feels so tight and like I don't feel good about myself. And all of this is wrapped up in this one thing. It's not just one thing that science, medicine, Western medicine says here. It's not the one thing that this says here. It's everything combined is what it goes into, because it's your body, and your body remembers everything that ever happened to you, whether you were conscious or non-conscious, like sleeping or anything like that. Your body remembers everything. So again, kind of still opening up this front line to kind of open up, especially that stomach, pancreas, and spleen. And so stretching through here, stretching your hip flexors, stretching that quad muscle. And so all I'm doing is kind of pressing through here. But everybody's body, again, is different. So you're going to feel different things. So right now I'm feeling a stretch in my calf as well. And I'm feeling this line through my big toe where it's like, it's still really tense, and I can feel how it goes all the way up through like this line of my foot. So through these tarsal bones and into the rest of my foot here. I feel that line between my first and second toe when I do this. And that fascia there is connected all the way up here to my hip, because I can feel how this is connected. And I'm also feeling how right through here I'm feeling a stretch. And if I move around my hips a little bit, like if I move this way, I'm not really feeling so much of a stretch, but if I move over here, I'm feeling more of a stretch. And that's going to differ from person to person. So as you're moving through this, remember that your movements are going to be different than my movements, because your body is different than my body, because we're not the same person. So, but everybody is very similar in that we all have these fascial tension and this line and this these bodies. So it's all going to be similar, but also very different, because again, we're different people. And kind of just moving through things, and I'm noticing how when I shift maybe back this way a little bit, I'm feeling a little bit more tension in that inner thigh and up into like right here in my hip. So I'm kind of feeling like this like diagonal and then straight down line. And I'm just noticing that as I move and I just make these very subtle movements, how that fascial line changes and that resistance changes. The tension isn't as good as great anymore, which is helpful for me, because then I'm more flexible and I can move better. And like my leg now feels much more relaxed, and I feel like I feel a little bit freer, which makes me feel good about myself. And if you liked this video, please share it. Again, you can catch me on Somato Enlightenment on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, and we'll see you later.